What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade. Basketball analysis coming to you with that quick analysis. We're going to talk about the Milwaukee Bucks beating the Brooklyn Nets in the 75th anniversary. We see Giannis Kumbo, Kevin Durantula, the great one, Durant, battling out both getting 30 plus points in this game. And we want to talk about the Bucks. This is a good builder for the Bucks because they are the defending champions. This is a team that a lot of people don't consider the best team in the league, even though they have an argument for being it. They have good defense, they have a good coach, they have great defense, they have great individual players, great team players, great complementary players. You look at guys like Pat Connaughton, Grayson Allen, Brooke Lopez give you that spacing ability at their positions. Chris Middleton is a guy that can get you 20 plus, 30 plus points and take over games and score in the clutch. Drew Holiday was big for them today, hitting threes off the dribble, spot up, mid range. You just hope to see it continue throughout the entire season, not just one game. Giannis hit some mid range, hit some threes off the dribble, got to the paint, hit his free throws, got his boards, protected the rim, rotated, helped. And then you look at the supporting cast, guys stepped up. You look at this whole team, guys came out and did what they were supposed to do. And some guys got a little, cold. Some guys stepped up as the game continued to go on. It's a four-quarter game, so you have to look at it like that too. And I'm just proud of the Bucks. I was there today, seeing them get their rings. They worked hard. They didn't make excuses. They did all they could to give themselves a chance to win, and they ended up getting it done. And they started off this game pretty well. They hit their shots. They mixed it up. They made some tough ones, made some hard ones, and literally hit them from everywhere on the court. And that's what you like to see. You like to see a mixture, especially when you have the talent that the Bucks have. They have one of the highest payrolls. They have a championship team, and you want to continue to see them put the talent around Giannis to keep winning more. And at the end of the day, that's what they're on pace to do. I look at this team as a team that can finish number one in the Eastern Conference. I look at this team as a legitimate contender in the NBA if they could continue to stay healthy, which they have been for the most part. And if they defense continue to ratchet up, I liked it the shooting the gaps. I liked it the rotations. I liked it they one-on-one defense. And I liked it overall their communication. Guys helped, guys knew where to be, guys rebounded, guys protected the rim, guys even threw two baddies at some of these guys and just suffocated them in the paint. They still have small things they need to improve on offensively, especially because a lot of shots they hit was tough. A lot of shots they hit they settled, and they did give up a lot of open shots. A lot of guys got open for the Nets. A lot of guys just walked to be open. Some guys wouldn't even guard it at some points throughout the game. That just can't happen against a team with the firepower of the Nets. James Harden really got off to a rocky start. Then he started feeling it from the three-point line. Didn't really have that overall game offensively. His points mainly came from the threes, and he was able to make some tough ones. A lot of them wasn't this foul, try to draw the foul, and even when he tried to draw it, they didn't call it, but he made it anyway. You want him to continue to do that, shoot it with confidence, get in his rhythm, get to his spots, and just continue to put the ball in the basket. James Harden is known for the step back, whether he draws a foul or not. We know that that's his go-to move. We know how dangerous he is once he get to that shot. And even when he's drawing a foul or not, he can still make it. And he was able to do that no matter who really guarded him. And he was able to hunt his switches. Still was sloppy on his playmaking. Still was a little bit slow making decisions and a little bit predictable. A lot of his passes, he made it obvious, or he didn't rush or didn't make it quickly. And the Bucks was able to intercept it. The Bucks was able to rotate. And the Bucks was able to get rim protection on a lot of his drop off and lobs just because he made it a little bit too obvious or he was just too slow making a read, which is something that he's definitely going to have to speed up, especially because they don't have Kyrie right now. Kevin Durant looked relaxed. He didn't look aggressive. He didn't look hungry in the first quarter. In the second quarter, he started to come alive. He started getting his mid-range, started getting to the paint, hit his threes off the dribble. Didn't really seem engaged, didn't really seem focused, didn't really seem like he was ready or really cared about winning this game. Just because if you really wanted to send a message, if you really wanted to prove that you was a better team, that y'all can beat them, you don't start the game off the way that the Nets did. You don't play like the Nets did. They was getting blew out for majority of this game. They left guys open. They didn't fight. They didn't hustle. And even when their defense was solid, they didn't finish it off on the boards. And that's effort, that's energy, and that's what helps you lose games if you don't do it, especially when you have a team that wants to prove that they're better than you and you don't match that energy. It's a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for failure. They got blew out in the beginning of the game. They finished out with a blowout. The Bucks was feeling it. They was moving the ball. Guys was hitting threes. Giannis was feeling it, doing whatever he wanted to this team like he was doing the last 2 seasons. And even Middleton, he really didn't have the hugest or the biggest games, but he was even able to find his spots and find his areas and put the ball in the basket with ease. He didn't really have to work. He didn't really have to try that hard. He just got the ball, got to his spots, and just made it. And you just can't have that happen if this is the team you want to beat and this is the team you got to go through. These are the two best teams in the Eastern Conference, just like we seen last year. Whoever wins this series is pretty much going to the finals. And the Bucks play with more passion. They play with more fight. They play with more care. They look comfortable. They look relaxed offensively, and they was able to do whatever they wanted to do to the Brooklyn Nets. Guys like Blake Griffin was MIA. Nicholas Claxton was dropping passes, forcing it in the paint, not finishing, not looking clean, not catching it clean, and just not really knowing what to do sometimes when he had the ball. Joe Harris hit some shots, but he was MIA. Patty Mills was great off the bench. He hit some threes, really continued to move, especially off the ball, and made the Bucks pay if they left him open. And then you have a lot of the rest of this roster for the Brooklyn Nets that really didn't do anything. They didn't really defend. They didn't really put no effort. They didn't really put no energy. And even when they did play, it didn't really seem like a lot of these guys was even on the court. Even KD was camouflaging to me today. It didn't seem like the same KD that we seen in the playoffs. It didn't seem like the same KD that we seen in FIBA. It looked like a completely different Kevin Durant. Even when he started scoring, even when he started looking for the ball, the game never seemed like he was in control of it. The game never seemed like the Nets was going to win it. The game never even got to me in reaching this. Even when you look at the halftime, I never felt like the Nets was going to win it. I never felt like the Nets was going to steal it. The Bucks was in cruise control. They was doing whatever they wanted, however they wanted to do, anytime they wanted to do it, and it just was consistent throughout the start to the finish. And the Bucks did coast to this W. I do want to see who is going to step up outside of Patty Mills. Is it going to be Joe Harris? Is Claxton going to be smarter offensively and defensively? Can somebody else off that bench? Paul Millsap didn't really have the game that you needed to have. And this team is deep. This team has one of the best rosters, and it can't just be Kyrie. I mean, you can't just be Harden and KD taking turns picking whenever they want to do something. Other guys are going to have to make shots. Other guys are going to have to make plays, and other guys are going to have to step up. We know how good Harden is. We know how good KD is. They're some of the best players in the world. But this team has shooters. They have finishers. They have screen setters, passers, playmakers, and we just didn't see enough team today. We seen the great individual play. We didn't really see the teammates do anything. And that's sad. When you load up this team and get this deep, it don't play a lot of guys, and the guys that do play didn't have a significant impact on both ends of the court. Even though they gave themselves back a chance to get back in the game, they never was able to put up a legitimate run. They never was able to really scare or threaten the Bucks, and the Bucks was able to just continue to do what they was doing the entire game, and that's why they won the entire game without even losing really at all. And that's just a good win for the Bucks. It's a confidence builder, it's a motivational builder, and it just let them know that they can compete with this team, they can beat this team, and at the end of the day, if they match up, they know what works and what doesn't work, and they gotta be ready. The Bucks played their game, they played their style, and honestly and truthfully, they did that thing. The Nets, I was very disappointed. I really didn't see the Nets team that we thought that they would be, but it's only game one. It's only the first game. A lot of this team gonna look different. They all gonna play different. They gonna gel. They gonna get used to each other. They gonna get everything figured out. So it's only day one. This isn't a game in the playoffs. The stakes ain't that high because both of these teams most likely gonna be playoff locks at the end of the day. But the Bucks look better today, and that's all that matters because they got the W and they did it decisively. We'll see what the Nets do in the rematch. and we'll see if Kyrie decides to play or whatever he does. But if this is the team that they have, their supporting cast is going to have to hold their weight. They're going to have to make plays. They're going to have to make shots, and they're going to have to defend. If not, this Nets team can be in a lot of trouble against a team like the Bucks, who can really match up well against them and really has enough spacing and scoring and defense to stay with them. And then it just comes down to who made the plays to win. The Nets have enough. The Bucks have enough. It's really whoever wants it more. The Bucks showed that more today. The Nets are going to have to figure that out if they want to beat them in the playoffs. But that's only game one. We got to see what happens to the rest of the series this season, and we have to see who's healthy and who's ready to play and who will be playing for them months from now in the playoffs. So, good job to the Bucks. Congrats on your rings. Y'all worked hard for it. Y'all put in a lot of work. Y'all had the success now. Y'all had a lot of failure. Y'all had a lot of disappointment. But at the end of the day, y'all got it done, and we can see if y'all can repeat this year. Y'all got one of the best teams, one of the best players, one of the best organizations. I've been saying that for years, and y'all proved it again tonight, and y'all proved it last season. Let's see what y'all do this year. Other than that, Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis signing out. I'll see y'all hopefully tomorrow. Enjoy y'all day. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below.